Welcome to Midwives Uncut.
And what?
We still
I
have to
think we
get
got
that
it.
thing. Welcome, everyone. We have skipped a week or two. We apologize. But today's topic is a good one. It is really the midwives' top picks for things to have in the postpartum period, like the essentials that we didn't know about, but we wish that somebody would have told us, right?
Yeah, seriously.
So, yeah. All right, so let's talk about it. I'm distracted by my family that doesn't get that I'm on a Zoom. So, all right, we're gonna talk about it. So I'm gonna show you a few things that what I always like to kind of go over in the childbirth class that Sandy and I teach, but I don't know if people actually get it. The main thing in the postpartum that you should be preparing for is you need a village, right? We do not really have the support, in a few different ways. Our families are usually spread out now. We're not as close, geographically as we used to be. Some people are in different states, different countries. And then another thing is the United States more so doesn't really respect, support the postpartum period for women. They want you back to work in 4 weeks and 6 weeks. It's disgusting. And truly, if you look at other countries, we are so far behind. They give them, I think, 6 months to a year with their.
Yeah.
Huh?
It depends on where you're at. Some places give them up to 2 years.
Yeah, and I think if it's, I think in Canada, it's a year where they'll hold your job, and then, a year where they'll pay you, and then after that, you can do it longer, and they'll hold your job.
Remember from France, she had 4 years that they hold her job, because that's when the child starts school.
Yes, which makes sense. So we don't have that. That would be unheard of. And we also, they get support. They have, certain countries will have somebody come to their house to help them with some laundry, food, things like that, where that's not even a thought in the wind here. So what we decided to do in our childbirth classes was really try to bring back the lost art of the postpartum period, right? And people catering to the moms. Because what we have right now is Victoria's Secret models 4 weeks postpartum on the runway with perfect bodies. What kind of BS is that?
The BS, the fact that they have hundreds of thousands of dollars to have people wait hand and foot around the clock. So they have a chef that's cooking them exactly what they need to cook. They have someone taking care of all of the stuff that they need to do in the house. They have someone taking care of the baby at night so they can sleep.
It's so unrealistic. It's unrealistic, and it's really setting up other women for failure, in my opinion. I think it's great that they can do that, but that's not the norm, and that certainly should not be what we are trying to promote, So what I have picked, Sandy and I both have picked a few different essentials that we wish we would have known about or had, or just what we think is really important for our families. And mine is, now they have these websites. I think I want to create one. But anyway, they have these websites that allow people, I know, they're my poof. They allow people to sign up, let's say your friends and your family, and you send them an invitation, almost like a baby shower invitation. And it says, okay, well, I'm planning to deliver on January 1st. And for those 2 weeks after, I would really like some support. Food, housework, just coming by to make sure I'm, bathed, those types of things. And so you can create this calendar, and then you can send it to your friends, and they can all sign up for a different day and a different task of how to help you. And it's awesome, because I remember for me with my first one, Everybody came to visit me the day after, and then I didn't see anyone except my mom after that. And thank God I had my mom. But that's usually how it happens. I feel like everybody comes in one day and then they're gone.
Yep, it's always like
you smell, you haven't showered, you haven't slept, you can't even think of feeding yourself, and you didn't prep it ahead of time. So,
and then if you feed yourself, you're not feeding yourself healthy. You're just grabbing whatever you can grab out of the cabinet, or
right.
And it's hard because if you don't know ahead of time what to prep, then you just do whatever.
If you're a first timer, even if you're not a first timer with a newborn, you don't know they don't know their schedule yet. You don't know a schedule yet. You're just like, there is no schedule. It's on demand. So my thing is essential. Find a sign up calendar and create your own village for 2 weeks after birth. And if you can go more, go more. Another thing that I think is really good, and put on those things, tasks around the house. Maybe throw a load of laundry in for you. Maybe just clean up a little bit, do your dishes, or just come and like give me an hour to sleep. Or I could take a shower, like something like that. Because yeah, you can put food on there and that's really good, and why not? But another thing that would be one of my top things to do is prep food for after baby, right?
Yes, absolutely.
Oh, God, if I had done that, and make it fun, like your favorite meals. Just take a weekend and make like casserole-sized dishes of them, put them in a freezer, and then you get to have your partner take out your favorite meal and warm it up for you.
And if not, they now have all these new companies, like you're doing one, that you can sign up for meals to be delivered to you certain days.
Yeah, but those are mostly like you have to cook it still. There are some that come pre-cooked.
That come cooked. They come cooked already.
Yeah, and you can even have people buy you that. Toys and clothes are overrated for baby showers. Sign up for those pre-done meals for a week after. Sign up for a cleaning lady to come, a doula. Like those are so much better. Our next YouTube video should be, what should you really ask for in the baby shower or a blessing way? Because what people are doing now, I find completely useless.
I feel like we've talked about this so much because.
Have we?
Oh yeah, totally. I mean, even like every holiday season, we always give people ideas of what they can get a pregnant mom during that time.
That's true.
And like last year, I had a list of what was it? I remember what I called it, but I put a post of like a list of great gifts to give a new mom, and one of them was like, oh, does she have a doula for her labor? If not, does she have one for postpartum? Lactation consultant visit.
Ooh, that's a good one. We should do something fun this year for Christmas, like make a fun little thing to give people ideas for our pregnant moms.
I know, but and then so like we always try to like promote, like get a gift certificate for a lactation consultant, or get a gift certificate for maybe a postpartum massage. Moms need that too. Anything that's gonna help her life be easier with a new baby, because that's essentially the most important part. Babies are going to be fine. They don't need a million onesies. They really don't.
They don't need toys. They can't even see further than from the boob to the face.
True.
What are they going to do?
It's in front of them. But what are they going to do with all those toys in the closet?
I'm telling you, it's ridiculous. I remember with my last one, all I asked for was wipes at my baby shower. That was it. That was all I wanted. And I had a shitload of wipes. It was like a joke. Everybody brought wipes. Because remember, I was cloth diapering. And I didn't want, I was like, I have everything. I don't need anything. And he lived in onesies forever. And he got the cloth diaper. So wipes was awesome. So anyways, so prep your meals, big casserole dish, and just put them in the freezer. And they are not to be touched until after birth. Oh, another essential is herbal bath, I find. Because especially if you had sutures, or even just any kind of vaginal birth, I always describe it, your vagina feels like somebody punched you in it, but from the inside out, right? It's like a baby came out of there and it takes a beating. So the herbs are really nice because they are designed for the postpartum healing of the vagina. So all the herb mixes that are in some people call it like a sitz bath or herbal bath, whatever, but usually it's a blend of about 5 to 7 different herbs that can help prevent infection, help soothe the vaginal area, and help promote healing.
And bring down too.
Huh?
It brings down swelling, even if they don't have sutures.
Yeah, and you right, and some of those vaginas that we've seen are very swollen. It's interesting to look at. So don't worry, it won't look that way in 24 to 48 hours. No. But in the meantime, and now I think it's, the people who make the nose Frida. Yeah. Now they make a Frida for the vagina.
It's awesome. It's like a hook that goes up. Yeah. It's like squirting from the top. It literally will get all the parts of the vagina, which I love.
We should get those at the birth center instead of the stupid freaking Perry bottles, because these poor moms don't know how to aim it. And then they aim up squirting in the toilet instead of in their vagina or on their vagina. So, but it's really nice. So something like that. And that's a great gift that someone can buy you is I forget what it's called. Do you know what it's called?
What, the Perry bottle? The nose Frida Perry?
Is it a Frida? It's called something. I can't think of it. But what we use is something called a Perry bottle. So you can look at that and then search for it with Frida, the Frida company. But it's awesome. And then so I got the prepped food, the calendar to create your own village, the herbal sitz bath, and then
it's called I got the name. It's called the Frida Baby Fridette.
Oh, and I think, do they have a package that comes with herbal pads too?
Possibly.
There's another company called Honey something.
Honey. Oh, yes. And they have like a whole pack of herbal pads that you.
Oh, so nice. It smells so good.
Already on there.
I mean, you can make your own, but I'm just saying it doesn't hurt like that as well. I'm going to share my screen so that you guys can see I'm going to share my PowerPoint. Share. Here we go. So this is literally what we teach people in the class about honoring the postpartum period, right? And creating your village. Where I want to go. Okay, there we go. Right, like that.
Yeah.
Okay. And then this bottom left picture, see how that mom is just chilling with her child, eating, resting, and nourishing herself? That is what we want you to do for like quite a bit after. And then this top one is something called belly binding, which it's not like an essential, but it's certainly really helpful to get you into, get your body healed the right way and make sure all the bones and the organs kind of get held correctly with the traditional Bengkung belly binding.
It's way better than like the girdles that have the bars and the brackets in it. Those are not recommended. First of all, those a lot of times have latex, which can be extremely hot and uncomfortable. And then they also have those like the bones, the bars, the wires in them, which is not recommended for postpartum healing at all. Right. So you stay away from that. And I say that especially to my Hispanic mommies, because I'm Hispanic, and that's exactly what my mother-in-law got me right after my baby. That it was not a good idea.
It's kind of like the idea is correct, but the how it's done is missing a few important features.
I just remember feeling so uncomfortable. It didn't feel right. So I didn't keep it on very long. So it's probably why I still got a mom. But either way.
Well, I never did it, and I wish that I had, because I feel like it would have been really cool to help my body. I will say, after my C-section, I could never poop the same. It was like I felt like sharp pain after, like when I had to poop. And so listen, I'm not the only mom. I know you moms out there watching have problems pooping after babies. And I feel like this would have helped, because especially with the C-section, because everything was taken out and then put back in. I feel like it kind of threw off my body. But the binding would have, put me back together better. Now I'm okay, but he's 8. So I should be okay by now. Okay, so Sandy, what are your top essentials for postpartum and boobies?
So my top essentials are, of course, everything that you said, and we cannot stress enough of having help, having a team. And so, you know, having something prepared ahead of time, having like a little nursing nook where you know that this is going to be a little cozy area and you're going to be able to sit down and you can have like a cup holder there. So if you're drinking water, because when you're nursing, you're going to get very thirsty. It's totally normal. It's from the hormones. Also, having lots of snacks. So Galena was talking about having, you know, like pre-made food and or someone cooking for you. But in between that, having some healthy snacks. You can do your own pre-made healthy snacks. There's these little energy protein balls that have been on a lot of the like mommy groups and stuff. I've seen them for a few years. And they're basically oats, chocolate, and peanut butter, okay? Rolled up together. You put them in the freezer and you can grab a little chocolate bite and it has protein. It's got chocolate that who doesn't love chocolate, right? And it's easy, right? If not, you can get pre-made protein shakes, something that you can just grab while you're nursing and not have to like, okay, I gotta go warm something up. It's something easy.
Now they have those companies that, I mean, you can buy like, you know, like you go to the store and they have the pre-done shakes. And then they have, what was that? Remember that one client and it was the little thing and it was like it was like spinach, oats, and it listed the what was in it, and you just dump it in and blend it. Remember?
Oh yeah, it's like pre-made smoothies that they come in the freezer.
Right,
And
exactly.
you just like put them in, mix it with water or milk or something, and yeah.
Yes.
Those are good, but then you still have to make it. I kind of like.
That's true.
Like maybe having like a box of just pre-made of whatever protein shake that she likes. Like if she likes the vegan ones, there's some really good ones out there like Vega, like Orgain, Garden of Life. If not, there's some other ones. But protein, it's gonna have energy. It's gonna at least, you know, hold you off because when you're nursing, you're burning 500 to 800 calories a day. That is.
I should show you a picture of me when I was nursing. I was so skinny. It didn't look good. It was like unhealthy.
You probably weren't like replenishing yourself.
I had 5 kids at that point, and I didn't do the prepping that we encourage our families to do. And I think, you know, I probably would have looked a little healthier, you know?
Right. Well, just like, you know, I know that you've spoken about this before, like for moms in pregnancy, we tell moms all the time to have things pre-made. Like get a carton of eggs, boil a carton of eggs. And that way
you can just my favorite.
Or have like some nut butters around, nuts and seeds, things that are just going to be easy so that if you do have a crying baby and you got to sit down and nurse and your stomach is growling, you can like literally grab the bag of nuts and you're nursing and eating at the same time. You're nourishing your baby and nourishing your body, which is super important.
Yes.
The other thing that I would recommend is a sling. You know, Galena, I love my sling. I lived with my sling.
Me too. William, like, I don't think he, you know, came out of it for 4 years.
Mine neither. My kid, more my second son, I put him in my sling for 4 years. But my first baby, I had a wrap. It was just too much material. And I always recommend all the moms, like, research, look at different carriers, see which ones you like, what you think will be practical for you and even your partner, because partners can use them. I know that at first was like, I'm not going to wear that. And then the day that he tried it and didn't have to carry that heavy car seat, he was hooked. So after that, he was always making sure that the sling was with us. But that's another thing. You don't want to be carrying those heavy car seats. You are healing. Your uterus is going back to the normal size.
Not good for you at all.
Carrying that. It's like what, 30 pounds, those car seats?
Yeah.
About? And then let's say you've got like an 8 to 10 pound baby in there. That's too much weight for you.
Not forbid you have twins. Like this.
Then you have major biceps for sure.
Well, I did at one period of time, but it wasn't good for my back. And and I have to tell you, not only is it better to have the sling because you know, especially if you have a fussy baby, I think that it helps make them feel a bit more secure because babies, you know, they don't just nurse or suck for food, they do it for comfort. So if they can smell you, hear your heartbeat, and have your warmth, they won't be as fussy, you know?
Right. And, this is kind of another thing that I hear all the time. Family members are going to have their opinions of, oh my God, you can't hold the baby all the time. You're never going to be able to put them down. That's not true. We know better now. We know that the more we hold them and attend to their needs when they need us the most, they're actually, learning to be able to trust us. And they actually have done studies where it shows that they are more secure, confident adults later on in life. So
Yeah.
hold your baby, sling your baby. And really, if just for peace of mind, if you have your baby on you, baby's not screaming, not needing you constantly, you can get things done. Like I literally will put my sling on, put it on. Let's put my baby right inside. Just like this. And voila.
Yeah.
Done. Hands free. I mean,
And I used to go grocery shopping like that because, he wasn't fussing and I could just grab everything I needed and it was heaven. I don't recommend life without a sling. I have to tell you.
A sling, a carrier, a wrap, structured carrier,
whatever you want that you like.
Yeah, what's awesome about what I love the most was that I could hold my other child while I had this one on me, not screaming.
Yeah.
I mean, times he was on the boob, and if I needed to cover him, I could cover him. It just honestly really, really look into getting something to carry your baby because you are going to really appreciate it.
Mm-hmm.
And then the other thing is having some good nursing pads. So I typically, talk about this in my breastfeeding class where it's either like disposable nursing pads or some reusable ones. The only ones I don't like though, however, is the cotton ones because they actually hold in moisture and humidity. And of course, moisture, humidity causes bacteria. So I personally like the dry wicking. So there's like some different brands out there. Bamboobies is one of the ones that I like just because you have less of a chance of getting bacterial infections on the nipple because they don't hold the moisture in.
Or thrush.
Yeah, exactly. They have the disposable ones. They're like as I tell my moms all the time, it's like a Kotex. It's like a Kotex for your breast.
For your boobie. But if you're environmentally friendly, you can use the bamboobies.
Yes, you can use, those are bamboobies, but they have the usable ones.
Cloth ones, yeah.
And then my favorite thing recently, because I tell my breastfeeding moms all the time, you are not supposed to be pumping right after birth. There's a lot of misconceptions out there. Every situation is different, and sometimes moms have to pump early on, but that should be monitored by a professional so that they can give them the correct information and advice. However, in a normal situation, you shouldn't be pumping early. You need to establish a good breastfeeding relationship, and you really need to establish a good supply before you start introducing a pump, a machine that is foreign to your body. So,
but because you will get engorged, what's that lovely thing you want them to have?
Exactly, which is called the haka. It is, I swear,
our new favorite toy.
If I would have had this 15 years ago with my first son, it would have been great because when you're nursing on one side, you're leaking out of the other. So instead of wasting that milk, what this little contraption does is it helps to release some of that excess milk when you're feeling super full and you want to just pump it out. But also, I've seen moms almost fill this just from nursing on the other side. Then they can start storing it up early on. It's not going to overstimulate your breast. It's not going to cause any extra issues. And they're already creating a stash for when they need it. So I think it's a win-win.
Yeah, heck yeah. Absolutely. I support that decision 100%.
So those are the main essentials that I think are really important. And of course, if you don't have a list or a system in place, at least get a resource list ready in case you need someone. So when you have a baby, you'll have a few contact numbers of, okay, I need a lactation consultant. These are the ones that I've researched. I've looked at their reviews. Someone referred me. I have that number. I can call her right away. Instead of trying to find one right away and you're
That's true. Yeah.
Or even information to postpartum doula services. If you have a resource list, it just makes life easier because then even your partner can call say, oh, give me that list that you guys made. And then you can call one for help.
I agree. I think that's a really good idea because I see people at their end trying to reach out, and then they're reaching out to the wrong people, and then it's taking too long. And just so you know, all of these essentials that we have thought about to share with you was to help make the postpartum easier, which in turn will help with breastfeeding, because you're not going to be stressed. You're going to have the right support. You're going to be fed. You're going, it helps with sanity and postpartum depression, because you're going to have the team in place. They're going to already have people feeding you and coming by to help with household stuff. So trust us when we say these are the top, midwives picks of things to have ready for afterbirth, because I feel like we just do not talk about how to be ready for after baby. We talk about how to be ready for Labor Day,
right?
Which is great. We need you to have a good birth, but how to be ready for when that infant that is just sucking you dry of your attention and your sleep and your milk and everything. You got to be ready for something like that. That's no joke. They're serious. They're little, but they require, a lot of you. So
yeah, they do.
So that's it, right? Are we good?
I think so. I mean, those are definitely, there's a lot of information out there. Another thing, and people always have their recommendations on like the best pump and the best this and the best nursing bra. At the end of the day, you've got to like choose whatever you feel comfortable with and whatever you feel like you need. There's a lot of stuff out there that you don't need. So preparing ahead of time is definitely something that I would recommend for sure. And knowing
about the afterbirth.
Yeah, exactly.
All right.
I think that pretty much covers it.
Awesome. So if you haven't subscribed, click the button below and subscribe to our page. And then, next week we're going to be on top of our videos. And next week we will think about, I'm not sure our topic next week. We're going to think about it and see, but something exciting, always.
Yes.
All right. Thank you guys. Have a good one.
Bye.